Hello, everybody. Now, obviously, I'm late with this review, but once again, on demand. Took a while to get the episode up there, and I was not able to watch it until yesterday. Now, I could watch it online because the episode will pop up online, but my mom likes to watch it on TV with me, so I always wait till it's on demand so we can watch it on television. She prefers that to watching it online. So, we're okay. So this is the haves and the have-nots, have the heavy lifting, and I took a few notes, but then I got tired of doing that, so I'm just gonna, look over the show online. I found the episode online here, and I'm just gonna look over and make sure I didn't miss anything. So anyway, we start with Jefferson, so that's what I'm gonna call Jeffrey and Madison, and just gonna make a little squish name for them. So we start off with the aftermath of David walking in on them, and oh, they're like, oh my God, how much do you think he saw? And Jeffrey is, of course, mortified. He's like, oh God, oh. He's like, and I'm like, you should have locked the door, Jeffrey, if you wanted to do that. You agreed to let Madison do that, and or to do that with Madison, and you didn't lock the door. So that's what happens. And Madison's trying to tell him, you've got to stop thinking that being gay is a bad thing. And Jeffrey, that really wasn't what. Well, I guess it was a little bit, but he really was just mortified that his father walked in on them. And Madison says, well, if your father had walked in on you with a girl, would you have felt the same way? And he said, yes, but not as much. So it still is, I guess Jeffrey is still coming to grips with being gay and all that. But that whole situation, your father walking in on you with somebody, oh, embarrassing. So Jeffrey asks Madison, "Do you want to go out to dinner?" And Madison's like, "Well, I can't because I have to work, and but you can come have dinner with me at the cafeteria." But Jeffrey wants an actual date, and he's like, "Well, I want to go out to a restaurant. I want you to take me out to a restaurant." So um, I guess after Madison showed Jeffrey exactly what he could do, Jeffrey is ready to go out on a date, and Madison's like, "Well, maybe we should have done the date before the sex," but that's how that went. So now we have Veronica and Celine, and of course, Veronica is going to be extra rude to Celine. She's telling her, "Would you like a drink?" And Celine says yes, and Celine's sitting there like, if somebody asks you if you want a drink, you're expecting that they're gonna do it, and so and Veronica's like, well, it's over there. So Celine goes and pours the drinks, and Celine is of course suspicious of why Veronica wants to help her, and Veronica she's telling her, you could be rich, bitch, you can do, she's telling her everything she can do and do for her and all of that, and so Celine goes ahead and agrees to it, and I'm like, but Celine is right to be suspicious of her. Let me see. There was a part with Charles, and his parts just bore me so much, and I'm just gonna breeze right through that. And the best part about the White House parts was when Landon and Oliver got into it, and Oliver just went full immature, and Landon's kind of immature too, but Oliver was like he, he almost went full, that grown ass man skit from Key and Peele. That's how he was. That was the direction he was headed in, and he was just being so ridiculous. And the actor playing Oliver, he played in that sitcom, Tyler Perry sitcom, Love Thy Neighbor. So his comedic skill was kind of coming through there because it was just so absurd what was happening. And so Hannah goes down there to see Catherine at the jail, and so of course, when she's talking to Catherine, Hannah's talking to Catherine. Wyatt is sort of hanging over his cell, his cell bars, and saying stuff, and he's trying to seem so innocent in everything, and he and it's obvious. We know that he did it. It's clear what he did, and he's trying to play the victim now. No more smart talk. And he's asking Hannah to pray for him, and of course she's gonna do that because that's Hannah, very religious, God-fearing woman. She's gonna do that, and so of course, let me just sort of continue with this part with Hannah and Catherine, since it was all together. So she tells Hannah what she wants her to do, take control of my estate and all of that, and I don't trust anybody. And of course, Hannah's apprehensive, and it's like she's like, well, can't Jim do it? And I'm like, as if Jim is really the person that Catherine wants to handle her estate. I'm like, come on, Hannah, that's not realistic. That makes no sense. Hannah is the only person that Catherine has that she can actually trust. And so Catherine tells Hannah, well, if Jim wants money, he's going to have to come to you. He's going to have to come to you. And Hannah, she's like, she's not really basking in that. And I'm like, he just had you calling him Mr. Jim. You need to take full advantage of this. And also, Catherine made it clear to Hannah, you need to make sure that Candace gives that money back. Speaking of Candace and Benny and all of that, so they're down there at the bar, and they're still messing around about this money, and Candace was on the phone with the bank, and she was saying, well, I'm giving this money back, and Benny's pushing back, of course, and he's all upset and pouting and all of that, and Benny is an airhead, and I'm saying, you almost got killed and you're still trying to keep the money? Come on, man. And now give me a second. Let me look at this real quick because like I said, I didn't take my notes. I want to remember everything and talk about it. And Candace was saying that she was going to give the money back, and Mitch was saying, you're plotting, because she had talked to Hannah on the phone, and for some reason Hannah decided to tell Candace that Catherine was giving her power of attorney. I'm like, why would you tell Candace that? Because then Candace started thinking about something, and Mitch could see on her face, you're plotting. And she starts saying, well, old Candace would have worked it out and all of that. And let me see what it. And then after Mitch finds out that about all that, and with Catherine giving Hannah her power of attorney, he tells Candace that he could make sure that she could keep that money because he's a Malone, baby. And let's get to okay, so let's talk about David and Jim here. So Jim is totally amused by the fact that David walked in on Jeffrey and Madison. He's like, what were they doing? David's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. He said, I'm fine with him being gay, but I was not ready to see that. And I'm like, who is ever ready to see walk in on their child doing anything sexual? I mean, come on. Gay or straight, that's pretty disturbing and mentally scarring. Now, they have that conversation, and then they start talking about Veronica, and he's saying, well, and David says, well, I got the red folder. I'm going to work out an immunity deal with George. And Jim's like, immunity's very risky. I can't be caught up in that and all of that. And basically Jim wants to kill Veronica and David's like, that's not going to work. She has her lawyers ready to release everything, and Jim's like, well, what if it's an accident, a really, really big accident? And David's like, well, I hope you're not talking about domestic terrorism. And I don't know, Jim's cooking something up, and he wants a big accident for Veronica. And speaking of Veronica, she comes in and she's trying to serve Jim with the lawsuit from Celine. She has Celine suing for back child support and sexual harassment and all that. And the thing of it is, I'm like, how is Celine gonna sue Jim, because Jim has no money, he has no assets of his own. So how is he gonna pay it? Oh no. But that's but that was why Veronica came, and then she's talking about, and she was also talking about that she slept with Jim, and Jim's like, that never happened, and she's talking about this mole he has. And I'm like, wait a minute now, maybe she's not lying, and it's like, so I don't think she was lying, and because after she left, Jim was still denying it, and David was like, I don't care what I don't care. I really don't care what you did. It was, David knew that it was true. Wait a minute. Yeah, well, Jim was lying, I think, and okay, so David basically gave him his permission and his blessing to do whatever he wanted to Veronica, because I think that finding out that Jim and Veronica had messed around, that just was the straw that broke the camel's back. And then he was like, wait a minute, let me go back. And then David turned around to my, he slept with Catherine on their wedding night, and Jim's like, well, somebody had to do it. And I'm like, these people are so messed up. And I don't know if that was a little continuity error, because when the series first started, Candace was trying to play hardball with Jim and say that um, say that Jim had slept with his friend's wife, which she was referring to David, on his 40th birthday or whatever. And Jim said, well, I didn't know David when I was 40. So but this episode, when David was talking about he slept with Catherine, claiming that he did it, it's like, well, obviously you would have known Jim much longer before. Obviously they would have known each other much longer before when Jim was 40. I don't know. It was a continuity error there, so I'm not surprised that Tyler would forget some of his continuity writing all these episodes within a 2 week span, a full season. And so Candace is down there at the bank and playing games, and she transfers Jim $8 and some change, and is going to put all the rest of the money in a bank account for Benny. So still playing these stupid games, and I don't know. I don't know whether or not they're going to try to kill Jim or whatever, her and Mitch, but I mean, she's still playing these stupid games with this money. But anyway, that was the Has and Have Nots episode. This one was a little messy for me, this review, because I didn't take all my notes, and then I peeked at the show online again just to kind of get a little quick recap of what happened. And so, hopefully when it gets around to the season finale, it's a good season finale. Thought it was a pretty good episode, but anyway, that's it. So, as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Bye.